This is more than just a course. I want to welcome you into our community, a community of bold thinkers changing their lives right alongside you. Because I believe true wealth is built in community. We're in this together. This is a space where bravery is normalized, where dreaming big is expected, and we can fan the flame of hope for each other and celebrate every win, no matter how big or small. Let me tell you about this program and what it's really about. I'm here to equip you with the skills and confidence to think expansively and recognize creative financing opportunities out in the wild. I want to help you craft compelling solutions and negotiate win-win partnerships with sellers. And I want to help you scale your real estate portfolio safely and strategically with as little money out of your own pocket as possible. And this isn't theory. This is practical, proven strategy refined over time by countless hours of trial and error by your fellow community members. Because together, we took all of this data and created a program full of best practices, all the work that you're going to benefit from now. And in the same way, your journey through this program will not only change your life, but it will help shape the experience for future students too. Because here, you're not just a student, you're a co-creator of a movement. And I'm obsessed with helping you succeed. I want to give you the tools and the leg up that I wish I had when I first started. That's why I meticulously collect data and insights from hundreds of people's real-world deals so that you can avoid wasting time, money, and effort on trial and error on your own. No more wasting money on dead-end marketing. No more missed opportunities because no one showed you how to spot them. This is not one of those overpriced weekend boot camps that pumps you up but leaves you hanging in the end. It's not some one-on-one coaching program that costs a fortune but only gives you a fraction of the content. We are different. We build wealth together and with a purpose. If we haven't met yet, I'm Mel Dorman, the founder of the Seller Financing Academy. And let me be clear, I'm not your typical financial activist. I'm not just here to help you make money. I'm here to show you how we can collectively change the world by simply changing how we buy and sell real estate. By working directly, we can cut out Wall Street. Now, you might be wondering, who am I and why am I uniquely qualified to teach you anything? Great question. At the time of recording this video, I'm a 37-year-old who's financially free. I built a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio using creative financing. And not only am I an experienced investor now, but I've been a top realtor in Portland, Oregon for years. I became a local expert in creative financing. So much that people were excited to learn from me, and so I wrote a book called Bank on Your Neighbor. And I gave a TEDx talk that was selected for the prestigious honor of Editor's Pick by TED itself, because they saw how timely and relevant this message is for the world. You know, over the course of 8 years as a realtor, coach, and activist, I've coached and helped hundreds of clients gain financial freedom through investing in real estate. But before I was an investor, before I was a TEDx speaker, an author, a top realtor, or even a financial activist, first, I was a social worker. And that perspective informs everything that I do. My background in social work, well, I helped unhoused and mentally ill youth find permanent supportive housing. I worked in jails and hospitals and psych wards with society's most vulnerable populations. I helped survivors of sex trafficking in India to leave the sex trade by providing alternative, empowering work. And I've had a variety of experiences on the front lines of poverty in America and abroad. But in my time as a social worker, I got to see the underbelly of capitalism in its worst forms. I saw how it leaves people behind, under-resourced. I saw that we have a broken system, and I wanted to change that. So why does my social work background matter in a real estate course? Why does it set this program apart from all the other creative financing programs? Why is what we're doing here different? Because this isn't just about creative financing or even just how to build wealth. This is a movement. Did you know that 60% of families are living paycheck to paycheck in America? I don't know about you, but I'm tired of watching Americans struggle, especially when a handful of billionaires hold all of the wealth at the top. I want less government-sanctioned billionaires and more self-made millionaires. That's what this program's mission is all about. And I imagine if you're here, you're tired too. You're tired of soaring housing prices. You're overwhelmed by brutal interest rates. You're sick of the limited housing supply out there. You're tired of always scraping by. But let me tell you, these factors don't need to hold you back anymore. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to use these factors to your strategic advantage. But it's not just about teaching a man how to fish. It's about creating a pool where everyone can fish again. It's about making a systemic change one deal at a time until we change the whole damn financial landscape. Because if you're here, it's probably because you want to see things change too. Because right now, billions of dollars flow from our pockets to Wall Street every month. Every time we make a mortgage payment or pay rent to a landlord who's making a payment to their mortgage, we're writing a check to Wall Street and to big banks. But what if we could reroute that wealth? What if we could write a different name on those checks? What if we wrote our neighbor's name instead? What if we stopped relying on banks and started relying on each other instead? Well, that's the power of creative financing. It allows us to reclaim wealth, one neighbor at a time, through win-win deals that keep money circulating in our own communities. And how do I know that it works? Well, because I've lived it. I went from making $3,000 a month as a social worker to creating six-figure passive income in just 5 years. I bought 34 rental units using creative financing. That was $7 million of real estate, only using $180,000 of my own money. $180,000. That's what a lot of high-earning Americans make in 1 year. Imagine retiring on 1 year's salary. That's what I did. And you can too. But people say it takes money to make money, right? I don't agree. I don't think it's money capital that we need. I think it's social capital that we need. What it really takes is the ability to solve problems and to add value in the world. And when you solve people's problems, the money follows. So don't worry about the money capital. Let's focus on building social capital, one relationship at a time. Because relationships will unlock your doors to financial freedom. And how do I know that you can do it? Because I've taught and learned alongside hundreds of fellow students who have used seller financing to buy everything from single-family rentals to skyscrapers. The only limits are your imagination and your willingness to take action. So let me tell you a story that demonstrates what separates students who succeed in this program for those who do not. This is the secret sauce that I discovered along the way. You see, in 2017, I attended a weekend boot camp on creative financing, and my mind was totally blown. I came home so pumped up that I even quit my day job. And at the time, I only had $16,000 in my bank account, but let me tell you, I was ready to jump in. Talk about being all in. I believed it, and I took action, and it worked. Now, don't quit your day job. That's not the point of the story. Fast forward 5 years. After that boot camp, I came back as a volunteer. I was financially free and I wanted to hold out hope for everybody else. Look, I did it, you can too. But when I arrived at the boot camp, I was shocked to learn that most of my classmates who attended the first time with me hadn't succeeded at all. Their lives were more or less exactly the same. But how can that be? I mean, we got the same information, we went to the same program, we had the same experience, but how did we get different outcomes? Well, after years of coaching and exploring the research on adult learning, I now understand that success is not random. There's a formula, there's a recipe, and it comes down to these 3 ingredients. We have to learn to lean into our community, to take bold action, and to stay focused. Here's how it played out for me. When I got home from that boot camp, I didn't go at it alone. I met every single week with a group of my peers who had all graduated from the same program. And we held each other accountable. We shared the details of our deals, we normalized taking bold action in our community, we wrote letters to strangers, we asked them to buy their property, and that was all when my bank account looked like a college student's. From the outside perspective, like from my social work buddies at the time, they thought I was totally crazy. But in that group, I was just normal. In that group, taking bold action was normal. They normalized the process of transformation, and that's why I succeeded. It was just normal to succeed. And you can too, if you do the same. That's why I designed this to be an interactive experience. It's not just a collection of informational videos that you can binge watch on your couch. You see, each step has new information and then action steps to immediately take. Because why? We know from research that watching a video only gives you 5% of retention rate. I mean, no wonder we zone out on Zoom calls, right? But when you take action and learn within the context of a community, then retention jumps up to 95%. You have to take action. You have to implement this stuff for it to work. This academy can teach you how to make millions of dollars through creative financing, but only if you take action. Your biggest investment, by far, will be your time. If all of this talk of writing letters to strangers and asking them to buy their property feels a little bit strange, don't worry. Stick in this community long enough and your definition of normal will change too. Let's do this together.